Good morning to you. The gang is back together. It is Wednesday. It's January 4th. I'm Ainsley Earhart. It only took 2 tweets. President-elect Trump starts making good on his promise to drain the swamp. That is DTS, Steve.
Hashtag, indeed. And think he wasn't serious about this campaign promise?
We're going to build the wall, okay? Believe me. We're going to build the wall. We will build a great wall, and we will stop illegal immigration for once and for all.
So he said he was going to build a wall. Critics said he'll never build a wall. Guess what? It's already happening behind the scenes. We got details coming up in less than 10 minutes.
They built it already?
They're working on it.
Oh, okay. And who wouldn't want a kiss from the vice president? How about that kid? Hey, keep in mind this. Despite how this kiss turned out, your mornings are better because you chose to be with
Her
friends.
daddy trained her young. No kissing boys.
I'm back. Always sounds.
Pete, I interrupt Brian before he got a chance to tell you to get dressed.
And
Sorry,
Pete
Brian.
is dressed. He's fully dressed.
That's good. Pete is out at
I was dressed-
Maureen's Kitchen in Long Island. Hey.
I was dressed before any of you because I came from the city out to Long Island, out to Suffolk County early this morning to Maureen's Kitchen. It's a fantastic place. We're talking politics, eating pancakes. I've eaten mine. His are half eaten. I'm here with Patricia and Cruz, who watched the show, loved Trump, and said, we got to come out and be here. What fires you up about Donald Trump?
The optimism. He's optimistic. We're excited. I haven't felt this way in 8 years.
A lot of hope. And Cruz?
He's going to make America great again.
Well, there you go. So the slogan is going to come true if when Donald Trump gets the chance. These two are fired up. It's also their 15-year wedding anniversary, and they're sharing it with us on Fox and Friends. So I've enjoyed having breakfast with them all morning, and we're going to keep talking to them.
That's very good. All right, Pete Hegseth live out at Maureen's Kitchen. Thank you very much. Also, earlier, Pete showed us that they've got the holy cannoli on the menu board up there. Some Italian you are. You asked.
I thought it was stuffed with nougat.
As it turns out, and I said it's stuffed with filling, which is true, but not very accurate.
That's like stuffed with stuff.
Many people have emailed and they have said the main component of the filling is.
Is what?
Yes.
Heavy cream.
Anybody? According to people, you say mascarpone. A lot of people say ricotta.
Yeah.
Ricotta.
Ricotta. That's right.
Janistine's got a ricotta right
You know
over
what
there.
I never found? How do you
She's talking with her hands like this, right off camera. She's talking, she's going, it's ricotta.
Here's the thing, though.
You
How
even
does
Italian?
My husband.
your husband's half
That
Italian?
doesn't count.
Yes, that does. Wait, you're like not full Italian, but it
I'm
still
half
counts in your
Italian.
house.
I'm half Italian.
That doesn't count.
And my mom's yelling at the television right now.
Obviously, the half of Italian you are is eats the Italian food rather than makes the
Exactly.
Italian.
And we have ricotta, we put it in lasagna, and it melts. Non-cannoli.
We get some guys
Whatever.
from DiMaggio's coming up in the next half hour. They are experts. We'll ask them about cannolis and find out what Bill O'Reilly's favorite Italian dish is. It's here.
The funny thing
because
is,
it's National Spaghetti Day.
Brian tries to get out of the cooking segments, but I'm always like, Brian, you have to be in the cooking segment because you're so funny.
Well, because I'm incompetent. And the other thing I like to bring...
Which is funny.
Cooking, right. But I like to bring up, too, the cook at the DiMaggio's, the owner, is cousins with the contractor that built half my house.
Oh, you're all
Are you getting
related,
something
aren't you?
free out of
I'm
this?
not sure.
It sounds like free entrees for the Kilmeade
with
family.
structure tech.
All right, so yesterday we were all glued to Fox News, as we all are. Everywhere I go, everyone's like, I'm addicted to Fox News. I'm like, so am I. It's on every TV in my house all the time. I'm like running around the apartment and I see what's happening yesterday there at Capitol Hill.
That's right. You know what? It actually happened Monday night where the House Republicans voted to gut the chamber's ethics office, which is tone deaf because that's the first thing they did. And that was the headline on all the shows yesterday. We talked about it as well. Paul Ryan came out and he made his statement, don't worry, I was against it. It'll still be independent, kind of. And then the House conference voted to have a meeting yesterday a little before noon, and they withdrew the ethics changes after Donald Trump made it very clear that he thought that it was a dumb idea.
He tweeted out what, Brian?
Well, I'll take it from here, Ainsley. With all the Congress has to work on, do they really have to make the weakening of the independent ethics watchdog as unfair as it may be, their #1 active priority, the focus on tax reform, health care, so many other things of far greater importance, hashtag drain the swamp, which was controversial last week when Newt Gingrich brought it up. I don't think he wants to do that. Then later he apologized. So Congressman Goldberg, who originally was for the ethics reform, said this when he thought about it.
The rollout was done all wrong. Anybody like President Trump that has a feeling of fairness would immediately say, you don't want to dilute the watchdog. The problem is we didn't educate people on how grossly unfair the OCE is. They have no one to whom they're accountable. You can blast somebody with enough anonymous ethics complaints and you overwhelm them. But we didn't educate the public. That has to be done before we take that kind of action.
So
and
true.
probably not first.
Well, people, you know, Pete's out there at the diner, and I remember in one of his hits this morning, he asked people what's most important. No one said the ethics committee. This is what they said. The VA, the economy, the refugee problem.
Yeah,
people are saying build the wall.
Yeah, but you don't want, you know, it's just optics. The first thing the Republicans do is they make it harder to get in trouble. And you know what? After Donald Trump tweeted that out and they said, you know what, let's postpone it. Maybe we'll talk about it in August. Last night, if you were watching the legacy media, pinch me, but they actually said nice things about Donald Trump. You probably missed it, so here's a montage. Ouch.
The best laid plans of Republicans armed with a head of steam and an ambitious to-do list went off the rails this opening day of the new Congress after a tweet from Donald Trump. The president-elect's tweet sent GOP lawmakers in full retreat and damage repair mode today.
President-elect Donald Trump sending a message to Congress after a late-night effort to get rid of an independent ethics board.
The 115th Congress opens for business with an abrupt about-face by House Republicans. Under pressure from the president-elect, they abandoned plans to weaken an ethics panel.
You know what, it's actually, you should get used to that because there's going to be a few times in which Republicans are going to be ticked off at Donald Trump when he comes to these trade deals. A lot of them are all for free trade.
Look at the campaign, though.
The other thing would be the infrastructure bill, how it's going to be paid. Democrats have a view and Republicans have another. He might split the baby. For lack of a better term, maybe I should have used one, and do that. And there's going to be a lot of times where the nightly news might actually lead with a Donald Trump compliment.
That's why it's important for the news just to report the facts and let the folks at home make a decision.
So in other words, now the mainstream media likes the tweeting, which is delicious. Also, yesterday, Donald Trump tweeted this out. The intelligence briefing on so-called intelligence hacking was delayed until Friday. Perhaps more time needed to build a case. Very strange.
It's got to, well, the thing is, and there's some question too, there's another network reporting that the briefing was supposed to be on Friday anyway. Yeah. Donald Trump obviously disputes it.
Well, because he was out at Mar-a-Lago toward the end of last week with his celebration for New Year's, and he said, you know, I'm going to talk about it either, I'm going to tell you more on Tuesday or Wednesday. Now, as it turns out, it's Friday. But also, let's see, 40 minutes ago, he also tweeted this. Julian Assange said a 14-year-old could have hacked Podesta. Why was DNC so careless? Also said Russians did not give him the info. Obviously, Donald Trump watching the Fox News channel because that was all in the exclusive interview that Sean Hannity had last night in person, one-on-one from London with Assange.
And the reason he says a 14-year-old could hack his email is because Podesta, according to Julian Assange, his password was password. So we never got the memo.
Well,
that
beats
should
1,
never
2,
be
3,
your
4.
Well, here Ollie North was on earlier, and you know he's a Cold War warrior. He is somebody who doesn't really think the Russians are always on the straight and narrow. Said this:
if this administration, the incumbent, is going to do anything at all about Russia, it should have been about the bombing and the carnage in Syria, Ukraine, Georgia, all the things they've done to threaten the Baltic states. I mean, when you look at what Russia has done, the most egregious aren't hacking into somebody's email and showing what the Democrats are saying to each other.
And it's Donald Trump's overwhelming belief that this whole investigation and fever for the Russians on this situation is all about shooting and blowing.
It's politics.
About Democrats.
Blowing up the credibility of his election.
Right. Right.
Absolutely.
Well, and he brings up a good point. He's like, here we are 2 months later after the election, and where's the evidence?
Well, so it will be interesting to see what happens. John Brennan, who runs the CIA right now, told people yesterday, wait and see the intel before jumping to conclusions.
Okay, we'll
so
do that.
what is the information, and how much will they be able to divulge in public?
Well,
stay tuned.
How many more diplomats can we kick out of Long Island?
That's easy. That's easy to say. That we should just wait. But listen, it's been 2 months. Like, give us the information already. We're ready for it. It's been 2 months.
It's been longer than that. We've known about John Podesta's emails.
Oh, right. But after the election, when Donald Trump wins, the Democrats come out and say he won because Russians were hacking.
Right, and that's the story they want to push, even if there is no evidence. Is there evidence? We'll find out shortly. In the meantime, speaking of shortly, news time.
All right, good morning. Good morning, everybody. Happy Wednesday to you. Breaking news coming in from overseas right now, the intensifying international manhunt for the Turkey nightclub killer. Police now arresting 5 ISIS members overnight in Turkey in connection to the New Year's Eve massacre that left 39 people dead. The total arrests now at least 21, including the alleged gunman's wife. Authorities now using surveillance video to retrace the suspect's steps leading up to the attack. Brand new video showing him at a Turkish bus terminal just last month. A showdown taking place of presidential proportions just a few hours from now on Capitol Hill. President Obama and Vice President-elect Mike Pence making dueling pitches in their battle over Obamacare. Dr. Oz stopped by Fox and Friends earlier with his take on how to fix health care in America.
People in Washington can fight about how they're going to pay the bills, but we actually have to reduce the overall bill. The way you do that is losing weight, which happens to correlate with a lot of... If you lose weight, all programs work. Because the battle for health, listen carefully, guys, it's not won on Capitol Hill. The battle for health is won in our bedrooms, in our kitchens, in our living rooms. That's how America gets healthy.
All right. Well, Republicans could repeal and replace Obamacare with 50 votes in the Senate and a majority in the House. Democrats used the same method to pass much of that law back in 2009. President Obama rushing to empty Guantanamo Bay, now planning to release more dangerous terrorists before he leaves office. This news coming after Mr. Trump tweeted this, quote, "There should be no further releases from Gitmo. These are extremely dangerous people and should not be allowed back onto the battlefield." According to the White House, the president-elect's opinion doesn't matter. 30% of those released detainees are confirmed or suspected of rejoining terror networks. And these young kids gave a veteran a proper send-off, a group of teenagers stepping forward to serve as pallbearers after a former Navy petty officer dies without any family or friends. Jerry Wayne Pino's body lay unclaimed in a Mississippi funeral home for weeks and weeks until one of the workers there decided to do something about it. So she asked her son to gather some boys from Long Beach High School, Mississippi, to help out. Within minutes, 6 boys volunteered to help with the service. Pino was 70 years old. What a group of nice young men out of Mississippi there.
See, teenagers, they get this bad rap, and then here we are, these nice high school students doing the right thing. That's awesome.
Yeah,
A
Mom
proper
is right.
send-off.
Yeah.
All right, Heather, thank you.
Thank you, Heather. Well, Mumia Abu Jamal is a convicted cop killer, you know that, and he has got serious health issues. But should you be footing the bill for his drugs? What if we told you that they're costing $54,000?
And think President-elect Donald Trump wasn't serious about his campaign promise?
Build a great wall, and we will stop illegal immigration for once and for all.
Turns out he's already working on it. What's already happening behind the scenes? That story next.
We're going to build the wall, okay? Believe me. We're going to build the wall. We will build a great wall, and we will stop illegal immigration for once and for all.
I thought he wasn't serious about building that wall. Think again. According to reports from Reuters, the president-elect's team's already meeting with Homeland Security to make good on that signature campaign promise. Here's right now with his reaction, Fox News contributor and founder of The Resurgent, Eric Erickson. Good morning to you, Eric.
Good morning.
We've got a kid in here for the upcoming Italian food demonstration. They're not squeaking about your appearance today. So Donald Trump, you know, on the campaign, he made it very clear he's going to build a wall. And then after he was elected, people said he's not going to build a wall. Turns out his people are talking to the Department of Homeland Security about building the wall right now.
Yeah, very much so. They've asked for all the available assets and what's on the border. Remember, there was a section of the border that was covered in National Guard troops and other available personnel by President Bush, and when he left and President Obama came in, he removed all of those people, and it looks like, based on the request, the Trump administration, at least they want to put those people back. Remember, Congress still has to appropriate the funds to build a wall, but they definitely look like they want to secure that area of the border again.
Sure. Some of the things the transition team asked for: federal resources available to build the walls, how much was available. Also, they wanted a list of all the executive orders that President Obama issued regarding immigration. And that's critical because they were asking, did they pass any, did they write any regulations, for instance, for the Dreamers to change their status or to hide information based on various things?
Right. You know, DACA, the deferred program for children, is actually affecting here in Georgia. We had a state court judge yesterday rule that illegal aliens under DACA are considered legal citizens now and can get in-state tuition, which doesn't seem to comply with the law, but does comply with the Obama order. So states are running into this issue already. It looks like the Trump administration wants to reverse that very quickly because it's driving up costs to states, particularly along the border.
Now, Eric, I know that you were a critic at times of Donald Trump before he was elected President of the United States. But the border wall is something that has united a lot of people because they feel like unless we can secure our own border, we will never be a sovereign nation. So what they're doing right now, you like, right?
Yeah, very much so. Listen, I've never believed in comprehensive immigration reform. How can you have a comprehensive plan when you've still got people coming across the border?
Sure.
Secure the border, and suddenly the whole conversation changes. It seems like sovereignty 101, secure your border as a nation.
Absolutely. In the meantime, we've got the news today that it looks as if the Republicans on Capitol Hill caved after essentially gutting the House Chambers Ethics Office after Donald Trump did some tweeting. That was the right thing to do for the Republicans, right? Because it was a dumb thing to do first thing out of the gate.
He was really dumb. I mean, it completely distracted from the first day. The headlines could have been about the Obamacare repeal. Instead, it became about ethics.
No kidding. And you got a win for Ford. They're not going to build that factory down in Mexico. Going to keep jobs here. Eric, I got a feeling you kind of like what Donald Trump's doing right now.
Thus far, some of the Russian stuff is still a little troublesome to me, but the domestic stuff, he's more productive right now than even George W. Bush was when he came into office in 2001 when it comes to shaking up the domestic economy. And that's a good thing, but I do have a little bit of a concern about a strong man in Washington essentially bullying American businesses. I'm a big free market guy. They should go where they want, but it's good that they're forcing Ford to reconsider their options as opposed to just saying goodbye, like the Obama administration didn't seem to care.
Well, Ford has said, you know what, we like the idea, lower taxes, less regulation, America, a good place to do business. All right, Eric Erickson joining us today from Georgia. Eric, thank you very much.
Thank you.
All right. Meanwhile, we showed you this spine-chilling video, a toddler saving his twin brother who was trapped under a fallen dresser. This particular story ended well. The brother picked up the dresser, saved everything, but it could have been prevented. What every parent needs to know about securing a dresser in your kids' bedrooms coming up. And Jill Stein is holding rallies for a recount. One problem, not many people showing up.
Doesn't seem to be anyone around. I think we're alone now.
All right, we've got some quick Wednesday morning headlines for you. First up, overnight, the NAACP president under arrest after staging a sit-in at the office of Alabama U.S. Senator Jeff Sessions. A group of protesters taken to jail after protesting the AG nominee for 6 hours. They claim he has an anti-civil rights record. That's what they say. And Jill Stein just won't quit. Practically nobody showing up for her Count My Vote Green rally in Wisconsin. The former candidate for president is still convinced something went wrong with the state's voting machines in that state. All right. Ainsley.
All right, thank you, Steve. Well, we showed you this video yesterday. It's going to take your breath away if you haven't seen it yet, especially if you are a parent. The moment a dresser topples on top of a 2-year-old little boy and his twin brother.
Yeah, you see this happening. But then incredibly, his twin brother, doesn't look much bigger than him, pushing the dresser off of him and saving the day. They found this on their surveillance camera.
Right. The good news here is both of the children are okay. Their parents actually posting that video, being very brave to do that, posting it online to warn you as a parent. But that is not an isolated incident. 71 children per day are actually injured by falling furniture or TVs, and sadly, the consequences can be deadly. So here with some life-saving advice is Thomas Trainer. He is an advanced certified professional child-proofer with his own 2-year-old twins,
right.
Daniel and Jesse. Good morning to you. When you watched that, my brother has twins. His wife watched it. She said she cried. What was your... Yeah.
It's a horrifying video to watch, whether you're a parent of one child or 2 children or 10 children. It's horrifying putting your children in that position.
They're at an age where you can leave them alone.
Right.
Perhaps. So it's not like they're an infant where you got to be around 24 hours a day.
What I noticed was there was a toddler bed in the room, so it appears that they have just transitioned from the cribs, which is a common question we get. What do we do? And the first thing I say is childproof the whole room, because they're not in their cribs anymore. They're out walking around. And apparently in this video, the furniture was not anchored to the wall.
All right, so how do we do that?
It's so simple. Thank you for having us on. Thank you for promoting this. This is a simple furniture strap.
So that you can, you'll go to me so that you can show us?
I don't know.
Will you
Daniel.
come to me, honey? No? Oh, Daniel wants his daddy. Can I hold you for 2 seconds, please, Daniel?
I don't think
I feel
so.
like Joe Biden right now. All right, you want to go to your mom, honey?
There was it.
So these are simple furniture straps. You can pick these up in any store. Hardware stores, you can... it doesn't cause damage to the
Sometimes
walls.
furniture comes with these, but you say they're not good, right?
This is what you're going to get with a typical piece of furniture.
Okay.
This is what you're going to use from a professional. There's a big difference. When your apartment gets hot and cold, these get dry, brittle, and fall out. It's a law that this furniture must be sold with these straps. But this is what they give you.
Yeah, so they're barely getting away with it.
To a professional-grade furniture strap, an L bracket. You could attach this to the wall, screw that right into the top. If you really don't have knowledge or time, you could buy these in any home store. But screw this into the back of the furniture.
Right.
Screw this into a stud in the wall. You're going to need a stud finder to find that stud, unless you have knowledge.
What if you can't find a stud?
Well, it is imperative. You don't want to go into sheetrock with this. The weight of the dresser when cut with the drawers out.
Right? This will find it. Or you could ask a handyman to come.
Yeah, you get a handyman to come in and find a stud for you.
So there's always a stud. I know this is a stupid question, but is there always a stud in a wall?
Concrete walls, brick walls, not going to have studs all the time.
Oh, okay.
So you're going to go with a concrete anchor, a wall anchor, concrete screws, cement screws. There's different types of...
Right, so there's always a way to make sure it's
except for glass walls.
All right, so
we see that a lot in
it
New York
goes in
City.
one side, right?
Goes in
and
one
then
side.
where's the other side go? How's it go?
Goes into a stud in the wall, and again, you're screwed into the stud in the back. We prefer to put them on an angle so that it holds the furniture down rather than pulls it out.
Now, Thomas, do we need to secure everything? Like if you're walking around my apartment or his house, what do we secure?
I would recommend anything that's taller than it is deep. This is height, this is depth.
Right.
So we definitely want to secure this piece. As you saw in the video you showed, it doesn't take much. These drawers out, I'm only putting about 20 pounds on this.
So scary.
It's going to come right over.
And a lot of dressers have a TV on top of it. So it's added weight.
So statistically, you're looking at one child a week, I believe now, dies from a furniture. I know we did the injuries, but the deaths, but I mean, really, does it matter how many kids got hurt before yours?
Right.
If your child gets hurt, it's your child. I don't think the parents in this video really are concerned about how many kids got hurt before theirs.
And lastly, Tom, people say, well, they built furniture so cheap today, it's so light, it has nothing to do with it?
With the last IKEA furniture recalls, I mean, they sold the furniture straps with that piece, and they didn't use the furniture straps. You have to use the furniture straps. Doesn't matter about the wood, doesn't matter about anything. You have to use the furniture straps.
What's the name of your company if people in the area want to call you to come over and do this to their house?
All-Star Baby Safety.
All-Star Baby.
What's the name of that car that makes so much great noise during the safety?
Oh, that's Daniel. That'd be called Daniel's car.
That is the coolest thing.
Thank you guys for promoting this and getting the word out there that this can happen. This video has saved thousands of lives.
I know.
In the future to come,
Hats
this
off
video.
to those parents, because that has to be embarrassing, but yeah.
People online are talking about happen, but they really did such a great service to this to children
It could happen
in the
to
future.
anyone.
They've saved thousands of lives by releasing this, because nobody knows that it's the low dressers. Everybody kind of assumes it's the tall stuff, but the low dressers, they don't think about.
And by the grace of God, that child is okay in the video. Not even a scratch, as parents said.
And so am mine.
All right, yeah. Yeah, yours got plenty of energy there, 100% healthy.
Oh, they've climbed on this plenty.
All right, thanks so much.
Thank you. Mumia Abu-Jamal is a convicted cop killer, and he's got serious health issues. So should you be footing the bill for his drugs? What if we told you they're costing you, the taxpayer, $54,000?
Right, and today is National Spaghetti Day, and that got me thinking, how will Bill O'Reilly celebrate? I'm inviting his favorite spaghetti chef, Bill, to join us next.
You mixed up Sicilian, all you Calabrese do the mambo like a crazy with a hey mambo. Don't want a tarantella, hey mambo. No more the mozzarella, hey mambo, mambo.
All right, here's your shot of the morning. Vice President Joe Biden and newly re-elected Speaker of the House, Paul Ryan. Awkward moments while taking pictures with the 115th Congress yesterday. Not all of it went smoothly.
We'll start with Paul Ryan on the left, putting a Kansas congressman's son to shame after the son in the background with the maroon shirt on, he dabs, you know what Cam Newton does, during his father's swearing in for the photo op. All right, so you can't hear it there, but Paul Ryan's asking him, do you need to sneeze? Are you okay? He wasn't really sure what the kid was doing.
And then, as it turns out, the father, the new congressman from the great state of Kansas, eventually said, hey, Speaker Ryan, he's grounded. Meanwhile, snubbed by a baby, Joe Biden gets dissed by an infant while posing with Republican Senator from North Carolina Richard Burr's family. Vice President leans in for a quick little kiss on the baby's forehead, but she ducks away from the beat.
That's because
she did lean back. She did lean back as if she was gonna.
Yeah. Meanwhile, somebody who is very busy this morning is our president-elect, Donald Trump. He's been tweeting up a storm. The latest tweet came out about 10 minutes ago.
His tweet says, thank you to Ford for scrapping a new plant in Mexico and creating 700 new jobs in the U.S. This is just the beginning, much more to follow.
And he's taking an active thing, and a lot of it is the promise of a new corporate tax structure and growing the economy here at home. That's a lot of the reason. It isn't just, hey, please stay. He's saying, look at the plans we have in the works, and we do have Republicans in the House and Senate to get it done.
Carrier said they're going to stay. Lincoln said they're going to stay. This is Ford saying they're going to stay. Maybe the Cruise will eventually be made here in America, not down in Mexico.
Well, Boeing said they're going to wheel and deal on Air Force One, the fleet of them, and Lockheed Martin says we're going to do our best to keep costs down.
Right.
Remember we were going to send Heather Nauer to Mexico because it would save money for her to do updates
I do
in
not
Mexico?
remember. So you're saying it would be cheaper to send her 2,000 miles than have her forward from us?
Because in Mexico she gets paid $10 an hour. Here we pay her $29. That's the way it breaks down.
True enough. At least
and
it'll be there for
we
vacation.
scrapped that whole thing.
All right. Thanks a lot, Brian. Good morning to all of you. We start out with a serious story right now. There is a convicted cop killer and a former Black Panther who's about to receive a new insanely expensive medication behind bars, all on your dime. A federal judge in Pennsylvania ruling that Mumia Abu-Jamal must be treated for hepatitis C. The 62-year-old is serving life without parole for the 1981 murder of Philadelphia police officer Daniel Faulkner. The modern drug costs anywhere from $50,000 to $75,000 a person each year. Wow, what do you think of that? Well, murder charges against former WWE wrestler Jimmy Superfly Snuka now dropped. A Pennsylvania judge ruling that he's incompetent to stand trial for the 1983 death of his former girlfriend. The decision comes a month after his lawyer says the 73-year-old is suffering from dementia, is in hospice care, and has just 6 months to live. He was charged in the death of Nancy Argentino in 2015, more than 30 years after her body was found in a hotel room that they were sharing. And college could soon be free in New York, but guess who's footing the bill? Taxpayers. Governor Andrew Cuomo proposing what he calls the Excelsior Scholarship Program. It would grant full-ride scholarships to students from families earning less than $125,000 each year. Now, if it passes, it would cost taxpayers $163 million a year. The plan now headed to the state legislature for its possible approval. And we can't make this one up. Police seize a man's tiger after it goes for a stroll in Mexico. Someone called 911 after spotting a 4-month-old cat on a dog's leash walking down, ironically, Lion Street. It happened in Tijuana, Mexico, near the California border. The tiger had been living in a home with children. That tiger now at the zoo. And those are your headlines. National Spaghetti Day. Let's check it out, guys.
Let's talk carbs.
We are celebrating National Spaghetti Day with one of Bill O'Reilly's favorite restaurants. It's called DiMaggio's, and it is out on Long Island.
Yep, owner Eddie Marinelli and chef Angelo Giannuzzi are here with the best spaghetti recipes they claim.
That's right. If you don't trust us, just ask Bill O'Reilly. He joins us via phone. Good morning, King of Cable.
Yeah, I'm having spaghetti right now for breakfast.
You know, a lot of people don't realize that Pop-Tarts now comes in a marinara. Hey, Bill, what is it that you like so much about DiMaggio's on
Fresh
Spaghetti
food.
Day?
The guys go out and they prepare stuff every day that is not sitting around. It's you know, right there. The ingredients are genuine, and they take pride, and that's an important word in their presentation and their food.
Eddie, what is it like when Bill O'Reilly walks in knowing you're going to be put to the test?
Well, I first let him know that he's in the DiMaggio no-spin zone when he comes to my place. So we take good care of him as we do everybody in our place. We're there 38 years. Angelo, the original founder and co-owner along with myself, opened the restaurant in 1978.
Yeah. Eddie, when Bill O'Reilly comes in, is he a good tipper?
He's very, very generous.
Aw.
He's very nice. He's wonderful to serve.
Bill, what do you order there? I know you order spaghetti on National Spaghetti Day, but what else do you recommend?
I like the fish because it's healthy, and Eddie and Angelo, they cook it up any way you want it. So they have fresh fish every day, and then I'll go for a veal dish now and then.
Okay.
And the appetizers are great. So sometimes I just get appetizers because they're so good. I get 2 or 3
Right,
of them.
that won't help us with the Spaghetti Day theme, though. So let's segue a little bit. So when he says that he makes things fresh, what do you mean, like, do people have old spaghetti laying around?
Yeah, they do. You kill me? What are you, 6 years old?
I know.
I mean, you go into some restaurants and they kind of fake it. They have stuff in the refrigerator and they kind of, you know, whip it up. Not these guys, just from scratch. So, you know, and my favorite linguine spaghetti thing is clam sauce.
Clam sauce.
They do it very well.
All right, so tell us the different spaghetti. What is Steve eating?
Steve is... we're having spaghetti with broccoli di rape, garlic, and olive oil.
Did you just say spaghetti with broccoli? Is that what you're talking about?
Broccoli rape. Broccoli rape.
Wow, well, Stevie said you're not done there. You have more options for people like Bill O'Reilly.
Grab a fork. Yes, of course.
What's that?
We have spaghetti carbonara, which is sauteed with onions, prosciutto, egg,
and
cheese.
carbon.
Yum.
A lot of carbohydrates there.
What is that?
Linguine puttanesca, black and green olives.
And this right here?
This is our vegetable lasagna. We feature many different lasagnas. On any given night, you can have 2 to 3 different options.
Angelo, what makes a good vegetable lasagna? Because a lot of times it falls on its face.
Well, we do prepare ahead of schedule, so it settles. And then the next day, it's ready to be sliced.
Now, when Bill O'Reilly comes in your restaurant, does he sign autographs? Does he go around table to table? Or do people in Long Island, they know, like, this is his neighborhood, we're not going to bother him?
Well, being that he's very short, and he's very easily able to be hidden in the corner somewhere. So he has come over and said hello to some patrons that see him and make a point of wanting to meet him, and he's very gracious and comes over.
When you make your
he says hello.
Pardon me. When you make your cannoli, what do you put in it? Because Brian and we were a little mystified earlier.
Well, you have to come to our place because we do make our own fresh cannolis.
What's in the filling?
Fresh ricotta.
Ricotta.
And sugar, which is powdered sugar.
How do you make
and a little
cheese
vanilla.
sweet, though? Because this is...
The powdered sugar and vanilla extract.
Okay, all right.
Vanilla extract.
Bill, how tall are you? Folks at home are dying to know.
He's 7 feet tall.
I'm 6'4".
Right.
Bill, when it's dessert time, do you have a favorite dessert there? Because these look fantastic.
Yeah, I get Tartuffu.
You do?
Really good. And I could not say that 3 months ago, but I went to a class, so now I can order it. Tartuffu.
Hey, so Bill, when people say you're hard to shop for, it no longer that cannot be an excuse. A gift certificate to DiMaggio's is now what we get you, correct?
Exactly.
Absolutely. That's terrific. I have breakfast there every day.
You know what's going to happen, Bill? You have so many people who watch your show, and we all love you. You're going to have so many people watching that come to visit New York, and they make a trip out to DiMaggio's just to see if you're going to be there.
We may have to
great
give away
pizza too, by the way.
We may have to give away your table.
Oh, we have the table.
So happy National Spaghetti Day, everybody. Guys, thank you very much.
Thank
Bill,
you.
we'll be watching tonight.
Right. This will be the lead story on the O'Reilly Factor. Spaghetti Day.
That's it. The cannoli starts here. All right. Meanwhile, President-elect Donald Trump tweeting that Ford decided to stay in the United States. Then the White House took credit for that? Really?
This is only the latest step in a long-running, significant, and positive trend for the U.S. economy that those jobs are being protected.
Oh, you're joshing me. James Rosen, live from the White House, coming up next.
And we are having spaghetti with friends this morning in Smithtown, right, Pete?
And eggs.
Oh, every day, it's National Pancakes Day every day here when we're at the diners. Pancakes, politics, and the people. I'm even serving and eating at the same time. So more here at the diner out in Smithtown.
Well, President-elect Donald Trump making good on his promise to keep jobs in America. This morning, Ford has scrapped its plans for that big factory down in Mexico.
But the White House pumping the brakes on that news. In fact, Fox News chief Washington correspondent James Rosen live at the White House with the latest. Hey, James, make sense of this.
Good morning, Brian, Steve, and Ainsley. Well, the fact is that few presidents-elect maintain as prominent a public profile as Donald Trump has. And with every tweet he posts carrying large implications for U.S. policy and standing around the world, the Obama administration has begun to chafe a bit at both the activism of the current president's successor and his tendency to claim credit for positive developments in the economy that have occurred since Election Day. To that end, Mr. Obama's spokesman argued that Ford's announcement yesterday that it was scrapping its plan to build a $1.6 billion small car factory in Mexico and will instead divert $700 million of that money to one of its electric car factories in Michigan was not necessarily the result of Mr. Trump's actions, but was rather the product of President Obama's long and successful effort to rescue the American auto industry.
And I noted that, over the last 5 years or so, that Ford has actually increased the number of workers at their company by about 28,000. So this is only the latest step in a long-running, significant, and positive trend for the U.S. economy that those jobs are being protected. So that's obviously good news.
Yet the CEO of Ford explicitly described his company's decision as, quote, a vote of confidence for President-elect Trump. And just about 20 minutes ago, Mr. Trump responded in kind once again on Twitter, posting, and I quote, "Thank you to Ford for scrapping a new plant in Mexico and creating 700 new jobs in the U.S. This is just the beginning. Much more to follow," unquote. But even some analysts broadly supportive of Mr. Trump and his agenda say that he's going to have to go beyond dealing with companies on a one-by-one basis and create broader conditions for U.S. job growth going forward. Back to you guys in New York.
All right, James Rosen on the North Lawn of the White House. Thank you very much. It's not even 9 o'clock in the morning. Donald Trump has just tweeted 2 more things about the hacking at the DNC. You will see complete coverage at the top of the hour. I've got a feeling a very tall blonde kid is going to be reporting from outside of Trump Tower.
Who would
with
that
this.
be?
Yeah, I wonder who. Anyway, stay tuned.
All right, and when we take a commercial break, then you can go to Twitter and read what he wrote. But in the meantime, New York voted overwhelmingly for Hillary Clinton, but not where Pete Hegseth is this morning. He is live having breakfast with the people who voted against the crowd out on Long Island next.
But first, let's check in with Bill Hemmer. I haven't seen him in a while.
Yeah,
Hi,
where
Bill.
you been, man? Happy New Year to you.
Happy New Year, Bill.
I know I'm going to see you on radio in 2 hours.
I look forward to
4
that.
hours.
We'll see you then. Happy New Year, guys. Obamacare, today is the day the ball gets rolling. Fascinating moves on the Hill. His password was the word password. And Donald Trump is all over this intel spat again today. We'll tell you what he's tweeting already. Great lineup. Senator John Barrasso, Andy Card, Karl Rove. Martha and I will see you in 11 minutes. Top of the hour right here on America's News Show.
You don't have to worry about it, baby. You can wake me up in the dead of the night. Break my plans, baby, that's all right. This try.
Well, while Hillary Clinton won in the northeastern coastal states, Donald Trump still resonated in large pockets, including Suffolk County, New York, where he won by 51,000 votes, the first Republican victory since 1992.
So what are those voters thinking almost 2 months later? Let's check in with Pete Hegseth. He is talking to them at Maureen's Kitchen, which is in Smithtown out on Long Island. Good morning, Pete.
Good morning. It has been such a fun morning out here, and such a reminder when you come out here to Suffolk County that went overwhelmingly for Donald Trump. And here in Smithtown, 28% victory for Donald Trump. Folks who really want to see America made great again and are committed to that. Rather than listening to pundits, as Fox and Friends has done from the beginning, we want to know what the people think, because the people choose who their leader is. In this case, they chose Donald Trump. We're in 2017, keeping our finger on that pulse. And I've got a great group of wonderful people that I've had a chance to chat with this morning. We've got Nancy, Jerry, Carol, and Jim. And I'm going to give each of you about 30 seconds. What would you like to see Mr. Trump do? What do you hope that he emphasizes going forward?
Well, so much rampant deception in politics. It's such a breath of fresh air to see how straightforward he is, and you know exactly what he's thinking and how he feels and how he believes, and you can believe it. It's truth in politics is something new.
You want to see him sticking to it, maybe keep the Twitter going, talking straight to the people?
Absolutely. I think Twitter is outstanding, not monitored. He's right out there. You know exactly what he's thinking, when he's thinking it, and how he feels about it.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Thank you, Nancy. Jerry?
I care very much about our veterans and our men in the armed services. I also care very much about our police officers who are being killed at a wholesale rate, and firefighters. And I want to
You're
see.
a firefighter yourself. Thank you for that.
Retired
For your service.
firefighter,
Very,
yes.
very, very much appreciated. Certainly, Mr. Trump has made that a priority also. Ma'am?
Hi. I would like Donald Trump to address the Common Core. I am now doing homework with my 5-year-old granddaughter, and I can't believe the amount of work that she has. And I just feel that, you know, it could be improved.
Certainly said he's going to change it. Sir, thank you for your service in the Marine Corps as well.
Thank you, Pete. Thank you for your service as well. I want to thank Mr. Trump, President-elect Trump, for hanging in there and winning this election, first of all. I would like to say to Mr. Trump, if he could possibly have his new head of the Department of Education, Betsy DeVos, implement a program getting back to teaching our children and in colleges true American history, so that they fully understand why they have the freedom and the opportunity they have in this country today, and more respect for our flag and what it represents and the people who served that flag and gave the ultimate sacrifice. That would be wonderful. And I want to thank Fox for what they do, being there and doing everything they do and being out here with we the people, and you especially.
Wow,
Pete.
it's an honor to be here. And you talk about civics. You can't make America great again if you don't know why America is great. What a fantastic point. You can see why we love being in these diners. These are wonderful people, hopeful for our country, and believe Donald Trump can turn it around. I'm just going to keep eating pancakes as I always do, and keep talking to folks. It's such an honor to be here. Thanks for sending us out to Smithtown here on Long Island.
You are fitting in way too well with the Long Islanders there. I think they're going to make you move. Thanks so much, Mr. Minnesota.